So before we begin, we will try to do some recaps, see if we remember a few things from yesterday. That will be mainly on your end. Anything that anyone wants to recall from yesterday?
Yesterday I used to ask the question, you mentioned that the spirit soul gets its energy for his desire, also from Krishna. On the other hand, Krishna has, also have independence. And if you could explain during the class, maybe how it is this connection between the desire of the spirit soul, of the individual soul, and Krishna.
Okay. Yeah. We can maybe touch on it just quickly. The thrust was that it is founded on divine desire. Our desire. Because Krishna has desire as his part and parcel, we also have desire.
Desire is neutral, it's not good or bad in itself. When it's in a conditioned world, when it's colored, and it's either good or bad.
Yes. Desire is value neutral according to our conditioning or lack of, then we manifest said good or bad in this world. Anyone else?
That human desire is from divine desire, and Krishna's desire is divine desire is reality.
Yes. We talked about the how Bilal, the one that Krishna is Satya Sankalpa. His desire is reality. His desire becomes true. There's no obstacles to his will. His desire. Yes, thank you.
How we should desire less, but we should desire better.
Yes, we discussed that sometimes the jiva thinks maybe I should be desireless. We want to stop desiring because maybe we see desire gets us into trouble. So we were saying that instead of hoping to be desireless, maybe one can start to desire less, and as we minimize the desires, maybe it will help, but still, better than that is to desire better, not just to, like in Krishna consciousness, we don't want to desire less for Krishna's service. Srila Prabhupada said, my problem is that I always think big. So he had so many desires for the spread of Krishna consciousness. That was a better quality of desires. Thank you for that. Yes?
The deepest desire we have is to love and to be loved. So, yeah, because that's also Krishna's deepest desire.
Yes. Yes, love. Oh, love. Yes, Krishna is interested in love, and his whole expanding himself into many is to expand the capacity of loving reciprocation. And as part and parcel of Krishna, we also have that deepest desire to love and to be loved. If there's any, if you will be paying someone for feedback, so.
The traffic light analogy, where you mentioned that the light is always clear, but it's conditioned by either the
mentioning conditioning, and that analogy is given that the jiva, being eternally pure, part and parcel of Krishna, by contact with different bodies, mentalities, or in our case, desires, then is seen through the lens of those desires. Like, he's a greedy fellow. Also, we say like that. So it's the greed then colors that living being, like just as the lenses of the traffic light. So then we say the light is green, red, or yellow, yes, but then when you go deeper, it is always clear. So we want to go deeper, go back to the natural desires of the living being, which are manifested in this original nature of Krishna consciousness.
Jim, yesterday you mentioned, you were talking about the topic that the desire should be all like in the same spot, like with the analogy of the ripples in water. And one doubt I had is that there are so many different relationships with Krishna, also different forms of Krishna, like Rama, Krishna, Vishnu, and there's even, it seems there's some conflict also there. Some devotees will be saying, no, we don't worship Narayan, you know, Aishwarya, this Aishwarya Bhav will spoil my Braj, Rasa, and Murari Gupta was only focused on Ram, he couldn't, focus on Krishna. So, and it seems that there's different centers also in the spiritual world.
Yes, this is a very exciting topic you're bringing up. So much of Krishna, so much variety of Krishna, and so unlimited living beings. What do you mean keep harmony by throwing at the center? So one way we could look at that is there is a baseline relationship. This of, we mentioned Jivera, Swarupa, Krishna, and Nityadas. Also Mahaprabhu, he discards all other designations. I'm not a sannyasi, I'm not a brahman, I'm not this, I'm not. But Gopi, Bhatu, Parakamalayo, Dasa, Dasa, Dasa. So this baseline consciousness that we are the servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that then is a central theme which the living beings can cooperate under to serve the Lord. And some of the fundamental understandings, everything belongs to Krishna. Just like Prabhupada reveals spiritual communism in Ishopanishad, Ishavasyaminam Sarvam Yatkinchi Jagatam Jagat, Jena Jatena Gunjita Matrita Kasa Sweetanam. Everything animate or inanimate is owned, controlled by the Lord, that everyone should accept their quota and not try to take more, knowing to whom everything belongs. So that would be considerations for us within the practice stage in this material world. But in the spiritual sky, then the Lord has manifested many lokas, because he is Bhava Graya Janardana. He reciprocates according to the sentiment and nature of that love. So many planets are there with particular forms of the Lord, where that unity can be again facilitated, where that center can be established. So even Krishna is sensitive to that it's not, we are all not into the same Krishna in exactly the same way. Although it is one individual, he has manifested into so many, so that those who have a particular mood of service can get the particular flavor of Krishna. So ice cream, Oh, as soon as the ice cream. Oh, yes. Who is into ice cream? But then if we start to go in, what flavors of ice cream? Don't be shy.
Vanilla, hazelnut,
Mango
Pistachio.
pistachio.
Ah,
Chocolate.
brave man. Huh? So already you can tell, you know, that the stones are being thrown at different parts of the pond. It's the pond of ice cream, but then we all have different specific flavors that we like. So Krishna is like that he's very democratic in how he distributes himself accordingly to match the love and reciprocation. So, yes, thank you for bringing out that Krishna is not just vanilla. He's got so many other flavors.
I was also thinking of sometimes in this material world we think that unconditional love doesn't exist because there's so many conditions, but we actually still desire it because it's available in the spiritual world. So we have it within us, but it's dormant.
Yeah, beautiful. Everybody is bruised and battered in the streets of love. I love you, but then it doesn't come up to that standard. So many conditions are there. But even though we're so jaded sometimes and we've had bad experiences, still the desire for unconditional love is there. It came up that some are no longer feeling that, well, maybe it's out there. But then when they hear of it philosophically, then again, okay, yes, this makes sense that I should pursue something like that. Jai Shri Shri Plag Shimri. Wow, so yeah, it seems that a lot of ears were on deck. We heard some things, thank you. So today we'll begin by looking at 4 stages that we could understand how our desires are influencing us, and then perhaps work towards how to manage them, considering what is the best. We will look at them based on the modes of nature. The modes of nature, as we know, are 3 in number, namely,
Sattva,
yes, goodness, passion, ignorance. It's like what preschool, eh? Everyone's the modes, we know them. So yes, 3 modes of nature. They are the components of what we call Maya. Maya gave you the personality,